everybody is, to have a meeting that puts us at Kythorn the 17th. Summer solstice is on the 20th. So you guys are here in Riverguard Keep, having a meeting to discuss what you want to do with your newly found properties.
Indeed.
That was one thing I was going to look up here, though. I was going to look up how much it costs to for hirelings. I have that out on the main page, because that will matter. That's another thing I meant to bring over. Let me do that. Maybe I don't have hirelings. Thought I did.
Is that DMG?
No, it's player handbook. Anyway, while you guys discuss, I will get that up on the board. So what I was thinking is each of you kind of say what your interests are, what you want to do with these places. Some of your faction contacts have ideas if you're interested in entertaining their having an audience with them. You don't have to. And of course, each of your characters has a say. So let's have just roll initiative for one of your characters, and then you can go ahead and talk for both. And then that way everybody gets a chance to say something, and then you guys can just have a general discussion after that. A skilled hireling is 2 gold per day, an untrained hireling is 2 silver per day. So guards are 2 gold a day. Kitchen staff is 2 silver per day. So you guys can kind of see how much it's going to cost to run some of these things. The expenses table out of the Dungeon Master's Guide basically just does the math and says if you have 50 guards, this is how much it costs. So those are just suggestions or guidelines. It's up to what you guys want to do here. Pretty wide open.
Nice.
That's everybody. What I've done is made a handout for each of your locations where I will track in the text area how much you're spending, what it's stocked with, who's there, and all that stuff.
Cool.
Those are under maps, under handouts, under maps. You guys should have access to those. So, Dibble, you're the fastest. And that makes sense because I think you already had some ideas.
Yeah, Dibble stands on the... Oh, here, get over here. Dibble stands up on the table and is kind of pacing back and forth and stating, that now that we've as a group come together to rid the evil from this keep and the spire and helping the Aarakocra, I believe that it is our duty to do what we can to try to help people throughout this region. So I think that this keep would make a good launching point, but as far as I believe it was suggested by another individual here to maintain I think somebody said a tavern here, as well as staffing it with guards and hirelings to help protect it. We could also assist too by or get more income as well by helping to ferry people downriver, and accepting people that travel downriver here would be a good stopping point for them as well. And then for the spire, I believe. Oh, another thing too is I guess it was also suggested that an all-faith temple be constructed here. Obviously, being a priest of Tamora, I would prefer it to be a focused primarily on Tamora, but I'm willing to share that burden with whatever other whoever. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, got real silent for a minute.
We're listening.
I'd be willing to share it with whatever other faith, whoever has a particular faith they feel strongly enough that they want to incorporate that here as well. Only thing I would ask is that Timora be the forefront as far as an all faith. What you call it here?
That's right.
If it's not here, if this one winds up being just everybody is equal, then I would like to establish another one at the Spire along with the Kokai, which brings me to that. With them obviously having had played a very important part in getting us to where we're at now and getting them their eggs and everything. I think that allowing or basically having them basically maintain that is actually a good idea, with us kind of giving them support with that location. I believe that they would make excellent scouts, and I kind of wink, you know, like yeah, scouts, you know, for the region as far as any anybody that would seek to stir up any trouble in the area. That's my suggestion.
Valid points.
It's kind of a mouthful, but yeah.
Well said. Kellen, what do you have to say?
Well, friend Dibble, I understand your desire to promote Timora over any other gods, but if we're going to have a true all-faith shrine here, then there can be no god who is primary. I agree that this would be a good place for that, since we already have a temple that we can clean up and rededicate to the purpose. As far as turning this keep into a tavern, a way point for travelers, that is a very good idea. We'll definitely need to hire some folks to take care of that for us. We have the barracks that we can convert into rooms for sleeping guests. We have the stables that we can clean up and house, travelers, caravans. But we're definitely going to have to secure the walls, and we do need to make sure we remember that there is a river or some type of body of water that flows probably to an enemy base underneath us. We'll need to make sure that we block that or explore it before we can before I would feel safe inviting others into the keep here. I'd hate to have more people captured by the cultists. I'm not really sure what this spire you speak of is, but if you feel that the Aarakocra should be offered a place in it, then I have no objection to that. And Alphonag would speak up and say, "Oh yeah, definitely. No, they're definitely great people. We definitely need to put them in there. Excellent scouts, really good eyesight, and as long as they don't ask me to fly with them, then I have no problem whatsoever with anything they do." I'm done.
All right. Ebenezer and Aranis.
Well, Aranis is all for having an all-faith shrine, so he can set up a place of worship to Sunni. And a tavern wouldn't be bad to have either. And since Aranis never seen the spire except from a distance, he really doesn't have much say in that one. And as long as Ebenezer has a place to drink, he's good.
Riverguard Keep did come with a couple of tapped kegs of ale.
He's probably been tapping them quite often.
Ebenezer, you also are a sort of a, well, man in charge. You kind of established yourself. These people that are in the kitchen you see there thought they were being rescued by you until you put them back to work. So they are still in basically an ownership state. Most of them would like to go home, but consider themselves slaves under you guys' I guess the word isn't employ, under you guys' power.
Well, Aranis would let them know that they are free to leave if they wish, but that we would welcome them to stay if they would enjoy remaining here and actually getting paid for their labor.
If you are interested in paying, they are interested in being employed, and that's something else that you guys can discuss as it goes on. Good to bring up. Lathna is a trained cook, so she'd be 2 gold. All the others are untrained help, but they do laundry and general cleaning and help in the kitchen, of course. Lathna, Naireen, Anya, Oric, and Bird all would like to go and at least visit their families in Womford once you guys get the river made safe for travel. They don't want to try and travel on their own. Their roads are too dangerous for that. But they will accept your offer, at least for now, to stay just because they really have no other choice. But they are interested in at least checking in at home just to kind of a proof of what you say is true, that they could leave if they wanted to. But then at that point are open to negotiations. That's something you guys can all discuss. Is that all you had to say, Aranis and Ebenezer?
Yeah.
Okay. Leo.
All right. About the spire, I agree completely. I think that would be a great idea to leave the spire to the Aarakocra and providing a place for us to stay and scouts. About the Riverguard Keep, I agree mostly. I think the All Faith Shrine is a good idea, the tavern as well, but I think we should also utilize the place as it's in the center of the Desert Valley as a place of trading, since we also have a river, the only river in this valley, so we can use, so people can come here and like do their trades and stuff like that, open up shops, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. You guys all know where these 2 locations are on the map, right? Did you have a chance to look at that?
Yes.
Okay, good. If not, I can show you guys where the locations are, because that...
Yeah.
Do you want to see that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, might as well.
Might be good to review real quick, since you guys are discussing it. Okay. You've got... Yeah, you got Riverguard Keep and Feathergale Spire. You see where they are, and yes, Riverguard Keep is very central on the Desserin River. The only other crossing point is the Stone Bridge, but the Riverguard Keep is also a very central location for guarding against river piracy.
I take it the folks who ferried us downriver did not return.
They did not. Okay,
So getting a boat and having... Is there actually any paths that lead to this place?
no. To
Roads?
Riverguard Keep, no. There are, in fact, no roads to either location.
Okay.
The Summer Hills are
river
very
is-
wild.
The river is the path to.
The river is the road, yes.
So pretty much just making it a stop for people for trading stuff on the river would be the main thing we'd want to do. Although there is something north of us that we might be able to get a road to fairly easily. If that's something we'd want to be involved with.
I'm going to move you guys back real quick just to see. Okay, each of you can give me a history check and see if any of you has heard in your travels what that place is. The Vale of Dancing Waters.
Intelligence?
Yeah, it's intelligence.
Yeah.
Leah has not. Lorelei has not.
Oops, let me select myself first.
I gotta find myself first.
There we are.
Top left or upper left.
Yeah.
Alfernog has heard of it. Wow, that's fancy. I'm gonna have to do that for everybody now. You know that, right?
Skype.
Did you escape again?
Yeah.
He cleaned up the skill check a lot. Now I'm gonna have to go through and do that for everybody.
Yeah.
It looks good. Anyway, Kellen has not. Dibble has not. Ebenezer certainly has. Ebenezer's been here in the keep for a while though, and he's been talking to all these kitchen help, and they would have told him plenty about it. And Alfernog has heard. The Vale of Dancing Waters is actually high up in the cliffs and is an old dwarven religious site. It's really not much of a. It's more of a tourist destination than any kind of structure. There's not really a building there or anything like that.
That makes sense why I've heard of it then.
Right. It's called the Tin Rin Whirler in Dwarvish. It's a narrow gorge that carries a trio of creeks down to the Desserin River in cascades of water. Yeah, it's just an old ruin. Only some dwarves actually even go there today. Not that popular. Okay, so we know that, and we were ready for Lorelei and Leah.
So Leah would probably agree that the keep needs to be kept open and accessible to be able to get goods and things like that brought up, and have it be a safe destination for people that are on the river that are traveling, because it is a long distance from, what is that, the Stone Bridge all the way down to Ironford or something like that. It could be like a refuge, hotel, bar, whatever you want it to be. She's down with that, but she does want to make it clear that the people that are hired here should get paid decent pay. They were slaves just like herself, and that respect the help, because they have been through a lot. And Lorelei agrees that the keep should be kept open for travelers and goods and wares, and maybe have a small business there for beer and wine. And the spire, whatever you call it, it'd be nice to have the bird people maybe keep it as a headquarters per se. I mean, we need people to monitor it, and they're perfect to make sure that if anybody gets lost, that they could help them and bring them to the tower for refuge. And also it's pretty close to Red Larch, to where maybe we could have their help in watching our travelers traverse safely through that area. I'm okay with any religion as long as it's multiples, not just one. So yeah, I'm down with that. Hold on. I don't know if anybody heard.
He was very distant, like he was muted or something.
Yeah, are you muted?
I sure was.
Yeah, okay, because I keep losing Drizzt and I thought I lost you too.
Nope, I was muted.
Phew. Okay. Drizzt will
Had to
get back
cough.
when he can.
So you guys have each had a chance to say your
Drizzt
piece.
hasn't.
He did.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. So now, basically, the floor is open. You guys can come to a consensus, and what I'm looking for now is technical details. If you specifically, do you want to hire anyone? The Aarakocra are Kathon, the leader, Rajak, and 3 scouts. There are 5 of them. And they will take up residence in the tower and scout and guard for free, but they are not as so powerful that they could actually engage any threats. They are just a scouting component.
Yes, just looking for people that might need help to maybe they could swoop down, get them, and take them to the tower.
And that's another thing. Actually, I got to do a couple takebacks. You reminded me of one. When they rescued you guys, basically what they did was a slow fall for you. I kind of misspoke and had them like carrying you around. They wouldn't actually be able to do that. They just kind of slow falled you to the ground and then escorted you to safety. Now they could probably pick up Dibble, but a medium creature they can't. They're not. It takes a large-sized creature to carry a medium-sized creature. So
That's what I thought. Yeah, they're just fur people.
yeah, so they just basically parachuted you guys safely down.
Okay. Only other thing too. Now this is something I kind of want to throw out there too. Since we were fortunate enough to come across some griffins and get a couple of griffin eggs, and that we have the Aarakocra currently watching over them, considering the number of large bird creatures that exist in that valley, that might actually be a resource we can try and take advantage of.
You're looking at years to train such a mount. I don't think that's really a resource that we can count on.
Also considering, I'm also considering, well, for one, mines, I don't mind waiting years to train mines. That's my choice as far as that goes. But I'm also considering too the fact they had a lot of like oversized vultures and other avian creatures that they most likely acquired in that area. So that's something we can actually consider. I mean, maybe long term, but kind of if we can get parties or whatever together to kind of look for finding more eggs of that sort and essentially sell them as a resource of acquiring more income.
But not mines.
No, not mines. Some other ones that might exist in the valley.
We could use the profit from selling mines and the other egg.
No.
Fully hire guards for both keeps and staff, and then we could hire groups of adventurers to go out and search for the eggs.
So why do you want to sell mines? I said, I'm willing to invest my own funds to pay for him. So I've already deposited 100 of my own gold into the coffers for the cost of keeping him. I said I will take the full responsibility for training him and everything else. I said I don't know why you're so insistent upon my giving up what I've laid claim to.
Friend Dibble, you're a good companion to have on the road. If you commit yourself to such a task, you will not be available for us for a long period of time.
I said, not everything needs to be on the front lines. So I can provide support for you guys for quite some time, working from behind the scenes if need be. So I will, obviously I would be committed to raising it and taking care of it and everything else. I said, but I'm not exactly sure on how many weeks it'll be before the egg is hatched, or even months before the egg is even hatched. And I have the Aarakocra looking after it now for me. So I still have some time before I have to take on that responsibility.
Are you sure? Have you consulted with anyone who knows these beasts?
I said I instructed the Aarakocra to inform me when the hatch is, when the egg is about to hatch, and for them to collect me so that I can go and be there for mine's birthing. Little baby chick.
Love baby.
So what are you gonna do when he eats Mr. Oinkers because he's hungry?
Mr. Oinkers and them will get along just fine. Why are you so negative?
I have no desire to be eaten or dropped on my head.
I understand you have a fear of heights. I fear nothing.
I'm not afraid of heights. Just afraid of
Falling.
flying.
Okay.
As long as I have control of my ascent and descent, I have no problem whatsoever with heights. It's other times I don't enjoy them.
That's fine. I feared nothing, for I have Tamora on my side. But
Lucky you.
I said, but I understand where you're coming from. I said, I will promise you this. I said, I will not use mines to play any mean tricks on you, like snatching you into the air or anything like that.
So you had that in mind.
Perhaps. But, you know, seeing is obviously something that seriously bothers you. I wouldn't do something that's straight up mean. I do things to be funny, but not to be cruel.
Keller would inject. Wait, you have eggs?
Yes.
Mines and lunch.
2 eggs to be precise,
Do you
and I
realize how valuable those are?
They're
you could
babies.
make enough. You could sell one of them and make enough to retire on for the rest of your life.
say, and sell them to whom? Whom will we sell them to? Who has that kind of money to purchase a griffin egg?
Take them
Do
to
you know
Waterdeep.
somebody?
Take them to Waterdeep. I'm certain you can find a collector who collects exotic animals who would purchase the eggs from you willingly at a handsome price.
How about we try to sell lunch first, and if we can, then we'll think about mines. But right now, I think we should just try to see if we could just sell lunch. Because we're not sure if we're going to get as much money as you think.
Ebenezer might know people. He might be able to find somebody who.
Are you the mafia, Ebenezer? I'm not really sure.
I'm not the mafia. I just know people.
I just know that's what the mafia says too.
I know people. I know a guy.
Yep, I know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. Devil says, besides, like Lorelei says we have 2 eggs. So there's no need to sell them both if they're as valuable as you say.
I think you're setting yourself up for heartbreak and disappointment, Sir Dibble. But I will say nothing further on the subject.
I said again, like I said, I don't want to feel like I'm taking a too much from the party as a whole. As you are correct. I mean, I'm sure that they have a lot of value, and as such, I promise you, I said I will invest my own personal funds to pay for the approximate value of it, so that that can go into towards the helping to finance the keep, and thus alleviate any potential animosity you might have towards my desire to keep mines.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure whose was it.
Like I said, I already deposited 100, so that can go towards people's salaries or whatever. But 100 of my money I've already deposited into the coffers. And that's just obviously the beginning.
Well, let's ask Uranus if he knows of anybody that might have enough wealth to purchase lunch.
Oh yeah, and I forgot. Sorry to kind of interject there. What about the hippogriff that somebody was able to calm down?
Who got the hippogriff?
You did, woman.
Oh yeah.
Craig is currently staying at Feathergale Spire.
Craig?
I don't remember who named him that, but his name is Craig. I believe it was Leo.
That's not a good name.
Okay.
I don't like that name. That name is evil in my life. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Oh, let's name him Farfiknugan. I don't know anything but Craig.
Nugget. How about that?
That sounds good.
I had a cat named Nugget.
That's what my I have a relative named Craig, and it's not good. No, it's bad.
I figured it was either a relative or an old relationship.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, so we need to. All right, let's get this on the road. We need to hire people, obviously. So we need to have. We've already sent the cleric back to Red Larch. He was going to pass a note asking for anybody who wanted a job to come here. I don't know what has come of that. I mean, has he had enough time to make it back to Red Larch, Ben?
Who was it?
The cleric who came with us to free the prisoners and got captured.
Yeah, I believe Imdar changed
Imdar.
direction and went to Summit Hall, since he was that faction contact, because Leo had mentioned having some knights from Summit Hall come here to stand guard
That's
while
what
you guys
it was.
were away, and Agnerin went to Red Larch to spread the word for you guys. And he was the Lord's Alliance representative.
Oh, there we go. So, how have they had enough time to travel? I mean, based on what the
Yep.
time that's passed.
And they have returned, and Zagim is also here, and all three of them have propositions for you guys if you're interested in hearing them.
Of course, we're interested in our friends.
All right.
So Zagim is around?
He is, yes. He has returned.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to get them where you're at.
Excuse me.
Artran is also, well, actually, you guys left Zeta in charge.
Yep.
So she's been here the whole time, and Artran is also here. So there they are. Zeta's been here. Artran, Zagim, and Agnerin.
What say you, Zeta?
Zeta says, I'm hungry. Bring me another leg of roast turkey. She says, same as Ebenezer, he's enjoying the drink. She is here enjoying the food. So long as the food remains, she is content to remain here and keep an eye on the place for you guys as far as being a steward, if that's what you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Zagim steps forward and bows low in front of all of you, and he says, before you agree to this Harper's laying about and leeching ways, I have a counter proposal. The river is a lucrative road of gold, if you will. A lot of money to be made, and this fortress is in a prime location for security, for a stopover. We have plenty of room for, you have plenty of room for storage of goods here, and also a boat basin where boats can pull into the walls.
Yes, that's
Highly
what we've
valued
been discussing.
location.
Yeah.
To that end, I suggest that you let me become the steward of this place as a representative of the Zentarim, and my contacts will use the river road as for trade going to Belliard, going to Yarder, and all places south of here. You will see a great deal of money flowing into your coffers. You will have a safe place to rest, so long as you aren't too picky about the goods that traverse the road.
Oh.
You wouldn't know how to sell a griffin egg, would you?
I must say, don't say it. You see, Devil's like got
He
his
rubs
fingers.
his hands together and licks his lips, and he says, "You found a griffin egg, have you?"
2, as a matter of fact.
He starts scratching his palms.
1.
I can certainly move a griffin egg for you.
I don't think he's legit. I'm sorry. This guy seems a little shady to me.
Which of your characters says that?
That's going to be Lorelei because they're talking about mines.
Ebenezer will stand up for him. He's done business with him, and he's always come through.
Zagim says, "I am an honest businessman, a merchant, and may I remind you, I did aid in the liberation of this fort. Being unsuccessful should have no bearing on the efforts that I put in, putting myself at risk for your betterment. I would do the same if I were steward of your castle."
And Zeta would say, "But you ran away like a coward."
No, but he also said if we don't mind what kind of items are coming through here. We don't want this place to be run by bandits again. Are you, sir, one of those bandits?
Bandits is a tricky word. We just certainly don't steal. The only slaves that we take are voluntary or owe us money. You understand? It's all business. It's all on the up and up. I have
told you.
paperwork for all of them.
They're slaves.
Indentured servitude
No.
is
Indentured
an
servitude.
honored tradition.
Mandatory
among any-
overtime.
Yes.
Dibble has a question for you. If you really want to take over this place. When you ask us, as long as we don't mind what type of things as far as get traded through here, are you speaking of things that would be considered illegal or immoral?
Morality is a slippery slope, my friend. Morality, I don't think, needs to enter into any business discussion. And as for your question about lawfulness, I'm sure you're aware, since you were the one who liberated this keep, the Somber Hills is a lawless place, and nobody lays claim to the hills or anything nearby, so there are no laws to get in the way of commerce.
So I'm
So we
If you
break no
don't
laws, we do nothing
understand-
wrong.
If you don't
just
So you're
understand
not
his
breaking the
answer,
law because there is no law.
Well, I'm just curious as to is he going to take over the keep and say, well, since there's no laws, it's now his.
I remain loyal and in your employ, should you choose to hire me.
I say we.
I only
Why
request
not?
that you don't get too nosy about the goods that travel through. That's part of the deal. Lots of money comes with looking the other way and not worrying too much about what's in the crates or what's in the boat.
I don't
Now,
think.
Imdar is also here,
Yeah.
and Imdar steps forward and he says, "Don't listen to this blackguard. I have been to Summit Hall. I have spoken with Lady Ushian Stormblade, and she has promised me a contingent of warriors who are willing to come and guard the keep. However, that service is not free. Armor polish is expensive, and they will need to be paid for their services." Zagim snorts in derision. He says, "You would pay rather than making money? Foolish."
I'm seeing kind of a good combination right there. Zagim makes us money, the other guy gets us guards, so we don't have to worry about losing it all.
I have a feeling that their business interests would not coincide peacefully.
Imdar says, "We most certainly will be inspecting all goods that travel through this keep. If the Order of the Gauntlet is the ones who are guarding the place, you can count on honor and the laws being upheld. Just because a place is lawless does not mean we are lawless."
I stand with them. I believe that is probably the best.
Yes.
So can you afford to hire his guards?
Nope.
Well, if we sell lunch, maybe.
Zagim rubs his hands together.
So we don't even know how much the value of that is. So how much? Okay, for the guards, let's say on a monthly basis, how much would it be? Before we start saying we can or cannot afford it.
Yep, let's put a price tag. It is 2 gold pieces per day per guard. So if you want 10 guards here, which I would think probably about the minimum, so what Emdar says, you're looking at 20 gold per day times 30. Days in a month is 900 gold a month.
600.
Zagim, 20 times 30? My calculator not work? I guess my
20
calculator
times
didn't work.
30 would be 100.
It's 600. My fat finger did it, I guess.
We
Calculator
love
failed.
you not because of your
Going on.
math skills, Ben.
Oh, hey, that was the calculator. I'm not even going to try to do it in my head. I probably should have.
So,
Zagim says I can clear that easily in profits and keep the place under guard from orcs and bugbears and gnolls.
How would you keep the place guard?
Well, these men that I would bring on board, bandits you call them, though they're hardly bandits, they're not thieves in the night, but they are capable warriors, able to take care of themselves and any cargo that is under their care.
Ebenezer points out that Zaghim is the only one who did not lose his wagon coming to Red Larch when he came through.
that's a very good point.
So it kind of makes you wonder about Emdar's efficiency of his guards.
Well,
And Zagim says to Zita when she said that he ran away, he says, and you would still be here toiling in slavery along with this cleric, had me and our Tran not escaped to tell them that you were taken captive. Agnerin would also be here captive.
If I had to listen to that woman for one more day, I probably would have gone insane.
Which woman?
That evil bitch.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's Kellen. Yep. Drosnin was her name, by the way, and she lived, for what it's worth.
For today only, I assure you.
She got away, you know. So, as Zagim and Imdar have pled their case, what do you guys think?
Not a fan of this Zahim character. I'm with Lorelei, obviously, because I'm standing kind of close to her, and
I agree with
kind of
that.
like, you know, giving this guy kind of like the evil eye, like, I don't know about you. Emdar, I'm a little more trusting of. I would have liked Zita to be a little bit more, I guess, proactive instead of just like sitting around and eating, like, okay, whatever. But you know, what are you gonna do?
That is the third option. Zita speaks up. She says, well, I can't get you any money. I can guard the place by myself to some extent. So she's kind of in the middle of the road. She costs you nothing, but doesn't really gain you much. Just an okay barbarian for security. She did slaughter 3 hobgoblins, or bugbears rather.
well, she had to. And stop eating.
She might be good for like a captain of the guard then, as opposed to, you know, anything else, because it seems like that's pretty much what she's best at is fighting. So I would vote for her to be in that kind of role.
Zita yawns and she says, I'm no leader of men. If it comes to trouble, I'll fight, but I'm not going to be doing drills in the courtyard. And she sits down on the bench at the table there and starts scratching Baloo behind the ears. She likes Baloo. She's
Baloo
a bear
likes
barbarian.
He'll take any contact that means that he doesn't have to stand.
Yep,
Walk.
she actually shares some food with him too.
Oh, he really likes her.
Yeah, she really likes him.
obviously to share her food. It must really like each other. Okay.
Yep. She just now realized there's a bear in here.
Bear's gonna go ahead. Baloo's gonna sit like that bear picture I showed you, with his legs sticking out,
Oh, goodness.
and waiting for the belly scratch.
Yep, she goes for the belly scratch.
Well, this is really an interesting conundrum we're stuck with here.
I think
These
the
two
combination
guys.
of the two would be nice, since the game could make the trades and Imda could check if anything illegal would be going on, like keeping him under control.
Who's gonna control him?
That's what I said, the
Yeah.
knight and John. Like they can both like, you know what I mean?
This is tough because I like to.
Zagim refuses to work with Imdar. He wouldn't be able to make any money.
Plus, because Emdar is for
That
being
means
honest.
Everything you do is illegal.
Exactly.
I think we're splitting hairs over this term legality.
We're trying to make a very peaceful environment for not just us, for our children and family, and you're trying to keep it corrupt.
Is that Leah or Lorelai?
Lorelai, Paladin.
Since when is she peaceful?
She's always been peaceful. She's not like her mom. She goes into a fight with
You still take Jaws though.
because her mom taught her the reason why. Nobody's asked her why.
Okay. Just
They're only when they're dead I take the jaw. Do you want the jaws? I can give them to you.
She also seems very intent to kill people even after they've surrendered.
Did you not see what happened last time you took surrendered people? Evil is evil. You gotta wipe it out. You can't just keep it around just to see if it changes. Does that make me evil? Or does that make me smart?
They aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Well, Dibble says, I have to go and pray on the matter, and I will let you know my my current opinion right now between the three of you, as far as who would be the most effective person, would probably be Emdar, because he seems the most noble. The most profitable obviously would be Zagim, because he really doesn't care where the finances are coming from. And Zita, I'm sorry to say, but like you said yourself, you're no leader of men, so I think you're kind of out when it comes to running the place.
She looks worried. She says, "Are you kicking me out of the keep?"
No,
No,
not
no,
out
no,
the
no.
keep.
Oh, okay, that's
Just-
fine then.
Just,
She gives you a
just-
dismissive wave and goes back to petting Baloo.
There you go. As long as you protect it with your, as long as
I
you fight
agree.
for it, we're good.
I agree everything that Dibble had said about Emdar being very loyal, and I think more honest than Zagim, and Zita's just going to sit on her ass. No offense, I think you enjoy it, and it looks good on you.
She gives her rump a good smack and smiles at you. But yep, I agree with you guys. I think this actually would be a good idea to retire that to the forums and let you guys think on it for a little bit. That is totally fine. And we can go over to Feathergale Spire, because there's other players who aren't here and they may want to chime in as well. And we'll get this uploaded to YouTube and they can take a listen and decide from there. So let's go ahead and jump over, because you've still got Artran and Agnerin who have not said anything, and they're actually waiting for you at Feathergale Spire. They have. You okay?
I hope so.
Sounded painful.
Wow.
They have suggestions of their own, so they step these two guys back and grab everybody else.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
I've
let me
been
ask
there.
this: is yeah, that sounded bad.
Chip went down sideways.
Oh,
Yeah, mine went in my air tube that one day. I thought for sure I was gonna have to call a hospital. I was almost dead.
Ebenezer, are you planning just to stay at Riverguard Keep, or do you want to make the travel to Feathergale Spire to have a say in that one as well? I guess you wouldn't. Well, you're part of the Alliance, so your choice.
Ebenezer's happy to stick around and drink.
That's what I thought. All right, I'll grab everybody except Ebenezer. All right, let me get you guys set up here. This map didn't bug out on me, so we'll keep it the way it is because I kind of like it. This is where I can, while I set this up, because I've just remembered, I messed up. When Alfernog Sparta kicked Soren from the top of the tower and grabbed the lyre, Soren did not have Featherfall, as I said. However, in that fight, I totally missed. There was another knight on a hippogriff off to the left. I missed him. So that was the one that was out scouting, looking for you guys. And at the last moment, he swooped down and caught Soren as he fell. So Soren lives.
But we don't know
I
that.
knew it.
You would have seen it, Alfernog, and I imagine you would have whipped out your crossbow and taken shots. Tristan probably took a few shots, and the hippogriff probably took one arrow but survived, and they flew away to the east.
Gotcha.
So Soren lives is the point.
Sorry, Dana. I tried, man.
But did he still get my lyre?
You got the lyre
Yeah,
back.
Saved it, yeah.
Yes.
That's the important part. Who
That's the
cares about
important part. That was exactly. I wanted you to have your villain.
Yeah, he was complaining because he never gets to resolve his NPCs.
I saw that and I'm like, yeah, no, you're. Oh, and that's the thing I forgot to mention. I actually messed up on even putting Soren there. He wasn't supposed to be there to begin with, so that was all part of it. It made sense that he was, so it's all fine. Okay, this takes place in the Great Hall of Feathergale Spire. I am just going to turn off dynamic lighting for this map. I think I got everything cleaned up. You guys are, and I'll actually, what I'm going to do is I have the notes, like the descriptions and the GM layer. I'm just going to go ahead and make all those visible so you guys can read and, you know, look around the map and do what you want with it. It's all yours.
That's awesome. Trying to find a link in Skype chat is difficult, especially when it's from like 6 months ago. Dana knows what link I'm looking for. The one we were discussing for trouble.
What?
Oh!
You talking about me?
No, it's something disturbing that we were
Yes?
linked a while back.
Oh, if it's
Yeah.
disturbing, I want to see it.
I know, that's why we were trying to find it.
See? They know me.
Yeah.
But it's a real
I
thing that we were trying to find.
Give me a second, I can probably just find
Is it a
through
salad
Google.
mixer?
I looked
No.
for Google and I didn't find it.
Yeah, but
I couldn't
My
remember. what it
birthday's
was
coming
called.
up. I want that
I
salad
have more
mixer.
knowledge about it than you.
No, you do?
Well, I was the one who actually found the book for
Oh, yeah?
Elsie, so
Oh, wow. That's frightening.
I
You
don't even know
found
what you
it.
guys are talking about.
It's
I
a
guess I'll
disturbing
find out.
book. It's a very disturbing book, Ben.
Book? Huh.
Book. It's a real book. But
I'll link it to you here in a second.
Oh, he has it.
Yeah.
Do we want the
We're all
book?
talking about
What are you talking about, Trouble?
nothing. I'll have to see what this is. See if I have to get mad at you guys or if I enjoy it.
I've been looking for it
Oh,
since
you
Zeta started.
like.
I've been looking for
Probably.
it since Zeta started feeding the bear, because I was thinking that would have been the perfect time to pop it up there.
Hold on, what the fuck?
Oh, that definitely isn't it.
Here is the Feathergale Spire, the map, how, each level as they go up. That's what that looks like.
Alright, do we want this in chat? Do we want this where?
No, Lincoln's in chat. Go ahead, man.
Skype, you said?
Chat.
There we go. That's a real book.
Whatever.
It's a Canadian bestseller. Everyone loves it.
Oh, wow. What's going on here?
Oh, okay. Really?
What's going on? Yes.
So she's got a love fascination with a bear. That's called bestiality.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Yes, dear. We know.
Does that link actually have the excerpt
Just
and
the image of
everything?
the cover. Nope.
Oh.
I'm not going that far.
Oh, come on. Break it out.
I don't have it. I didn't go that far. I did not take that pill.
Neither did I.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
I just looked at the pill and kind of passed it on.
But in light of your mount, we figured you would appreciate that.
She'll appreciate it more if we find the excerpt.
I've had someone read the excerpt and no.
Alrighty. Moving on.
So you guys are in the Great Hall of Feathergale Spire. You can see the description down to the right there. Is there anything, I think most of you pretty much addressed what you wanted to do with both locations. Is there anything you guys want to add?
Well, let's hear what the faction guys had to say.
All right, you just want to hear Artran and Agnerin?
Yeah, I'll throw a little something out there. Dibble will kind of throw out, that, besides the obvious, having them, help people along the road. Like when I had mentioned as far as there being scouts, I was also kind of hinting to the idea of them being spies for being able to, if anybody that we feel is kind of, doing things that we don't really appreciate in the area, they would make excellent people to basically kind of keep track of people and their movements in the region.
Don't forget the telescope up on the roof.
That too, absolutely. So they could kind of be our eyes and ears for things going on in the valley.
Kathon is here. He bows deeply and accepts the honor that you have bestowed upon him and his kin, and that he has been promoted within his own caste. He remains Hudaim, which means the warrior caste of the Wind Lords of Akka. And they are, you guys never asked, but he would tell you now that his duty is to guard against the machinations of the elemental cults.
Said duty.
Oh, wow. So you're an ally for us, definitely.
Yeah.
Precisely. So your paths have merged, and he does not argue against that. It's not coincidence, but what's the other word for coincidence? When it's not really a coincidence?
Fate. Sure.
Sure. Serendipity, something like that.
Destiny.
Yes. So he's glad to have you guys as allies, and he accepts the honor of keeping, accepts the stewardship of the tower, if you're going to bestow that much honor on him.
Yes.
Him and his
definitely.
Aarakocra will keep an eye on the valley, gladly. Mostly looking out for cultists and their doings. To that end, he has spotted far to the east, here in the Sighing Valley, There's a location known as Knife Point Gully, and he has seen people wearing white feathered robes entering and exiting a cavern high up in the cliffs there, far to the east.
Hey, I was there once.
You were?
Where?
Wasn't it one of those? It was the monk shrine that had those people that were
No.
flying. I've seen those people.
You saw the flyers, yes?
Yes. So I've seen those flyers.
Yeah, I believe we have.
I'm gonna get, give me a second. I'm getting the Sighing Valley map up here where it's manageable and you guys can look at it. There you go, it's at the bottom left, looks like that. Where the river goes into that crevice in the northeast, that is Knife Point Gully.
That's where the telescope was looking
Whoops.
at.
And that's exactly the point, yep, when you guys look through the telescope, that is where it is looking. The last place it was spotted towards. I'll go ahead and give you the spiel. On top of that, Artran has arrived and takes Leah aside, and he says, Leah, the book that you seek, Valivo has one or two of the tomes of the collection. He can tell you more back in Red Larch.
Then I shall go to Red Larch.
But don't forget, Miss Leah, he also has that quiver we were going to purchase for you.
How much was that quiver?
He was selling it to you for 100 gold coins.
Can Leah afford it? I can. I will look at him when I get there and try to find that quiver.
Okay, that's something we can cover if that's a path you guys want to take. But Leah, you've got a coincided with your personal quest. As far as the rest of you, or anyone here who is a harper, your ears might perk up as Artran mentions that these are part of the collection, the manuscript collection of Broldenthar.
Wasn't he one of the members of the expedition?
One of the members of the delegation, yes.
How did
this
they
is,
appear?
That is a bit of a, that's the thing. Artran did not ask, well, you know Artran, he's not one for words. He has delivered the message and is preparing to leave. He tracked down Leah and gave her the news. She had a personal quest on top of the faction quest for finding this book, one specific book, but yeah. So, the books of Broldenthar have been, or at least some of them, have been found by Valivo. So talk to him if you want more information on that. That's just an adventure lead. And that'll count more here in a minute. I'm going to set Artran aside. Agnarin is a representative of the Lord's Alliance, and he has arrived. He says he has been in contact with the Dukes, or the Duke in Baldur's Gate, the Masked Lords of Waterdeep, and they of course have been in contact with Lord Neverember of Neverwinter, and they want to see more trade through the Desserin Valley. I'm gonna pop the map up one more time. That's the only one we need. You guys can see everything. You've got the long road going from Red Larch to Westbridge to Belliard. Well, you could cut days off the trip to Belliard if the Larch path were made safe. And Feathergale Spire is in a prominent location right there on the Larch path.
Mm-hmm.
So, coinciding with what Dibble was suggesting, Agnarin is interested in seeing you guys, this becoming a stronghold and a watchtower, making safe the Larch Path, being proactive, searching out bandits. He's also very impressed that you guys have acquired aerial scouts. That's awesome. He thinks that's a fantastic development, especially since they're free. He likes that. But he would like to see you guys use this tower, and the Lord's Alliance is willing to pay you, and as well as a staff of guards to basically fortify the tower and make safe the Larch Path.
That's good.
That's,
Let's talk to them about fortifying the river.
Riverguard Keep.
He is less interested in that, only because the river does not go out to the coast. and really
No,
has
but
no.
it goes up to the Desserin Hills. It's another way to get goods and people up through.
This is true, but you can see that the river just goes north and south. Waterdeep and the Lord's Alliance is out on the coast, so that's on the west side of the map. They don't have access to start goods going up or down the river. The river is a minor concern for them.
Okay.
He's half-heartedly interested. He says he'll go back and talk to them and inform them of your further deeds. But they're more interested in the overland routes because the Desserin River really is not much benefit to the Lord's Alliance.
Well, I think that what he's already offering sounds pretty
Yeah.
Like something we want to accept?
good. To consider highly, yes. Does anybody else have an offer?
There are no other.
He's gonna pay us. I mean, that's even
Yeah, he's
better.
gonna pay us free. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
He says basically these are the terms, and this is like kind of what you would want with the other one, like you were saying. He offers both law and commerce, but kind of a medium value on both. Basically meaning the Lord's Alliance would be considered the authority here. Their laws would be the ones enacted. There would be a toll to travel the large path. There is a tax for it because the protection isn't free. But it does offer protection. They do go out, keep the road safe, and so you guys, it's not a lot of money, but you would be getting basically the use of the tower fee, and of course you maintain, the title. The tower remains under your. Like you could come here and sleep anytime you want. It still belongs to you.
Right.
They just
Still use it as our
basically,
base of operations.
yeah, they just contract out use of it, which
They're gonna.
Kathon kind of ruffles his feathers a little, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I want the Erikai to have full access without being charged.
Oh, they
'Cause
care
they're-
nothing
they're
for the
working
laws of the
too, though.
coast. Yeah. Well, they're only scouts. They will not engage in combat, but they.
No, but they're scouting. They're working for us.
He will accept that. He will report to Agnerin if Agnerin is going to become the real steward of the tower and report movements in the valley and basically be the scout for Agnerin, taking the pressure off of you guys.
That would allow us to focus more fully on the cults.
Which Kathon is also in favor of.
We've discovered the headquarters of a base, I guess, of the water cult and the earth cult. In the air cult, we still do not know where I'm sure there's a fire cult since it's an elemental cult. Does anyone have any idea where they might be headquartered?
Any volcanoes in the area?
Big mountain.
Hold that thought. When we actually start the adventure, I have more information for you guys. I just wanted to do this. We're still in what do we do with the? If you guys are cool with Agnerin taking over, and then that's a done deal, we can say it's
I
good.
would say that's a done deal. Anybody
Me too.
else?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. The Lord's Alliance, even though nobody belongs to the faction, now lays claim to is spreading its influence through the Somber Hills into the Sighing Valley. You will see guards wearing the badge of Waterdeep, as being the closest city. Some of the locals in Red Larch may not like that, seeing the lords and ladies of the realm flexing their muscles in places where they have no business, but other people, just like in the faction post I made on the forums, other people are welcoming of having fewer orc raids and goblins wandering about.
I could care less what the people of Red Larch want. They have corruption growing rampantly within their midst, so their opinion really has no effect on me at all.
Agnerin can bring news of that as well. It's been about 2 weeks since you guys were in Red Larch, and he says that the leadership is either has been fined and remains doing what little business remains to them, or as in the case of the one who was the leader, they escaped in the night, like thieves in the night. They ran away. What was his name? Dornan Finestone.
Well, that is his name. I have it on my head.
Yeah, it was Dornan. I forget his first name. It was Eldon or something like that. He escaped, got away. Some of the other Whalver got away, and 2 of the others remain, but their business is much hampered by developments. Constable Harburg tried to take over and run the city, but with all the constable work and all the new adventurers coming through, basically to join the Destron Alliance, he was hard pressed. He was working too many hours, and so his wife Jalessa took over, and she
Who's
now
watching
is.
the baby?
She watches the baby.
Ah.
She's super mom. So she now runs the city. She's the mayor and a mommy. And yeah,
What's
she's.
the-
Go ahead.
Was the blacksmith involved in any of that?
No,
I don't think so.
Tantra Smithy was not at all. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he may be a
It's
fire
correct.
cultist. I mean, he does deal with hot metal all day, so.
Hey,
That's-
Arana still wants his new scimitars.
I have no idea who we can trust in that town. I would be fine with never returning.
I would have no problem with him giving me scimitars and me having to cut him down later. I could get my money back.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey,
All right.
if he's evil,
If he's evil, he got to die, right?
That's right.
All right. So that resolves the real estate council meeting. Well done, guys. We've put a pin in it for Riverguard Keep, and that's cool. We'll work that out. Let's actually have an adventure now. I need a
Yeah.
quick break. I'll make soda. If anybody's out of time, that's fine, no problem. I will stop Twitch, and we'll start back up here in like 5 minutes. I just need to make another soda and all that. I'll be right back.
Yeah.